Welcome to Baden Street Settlement, where we have so much to offer.
Here at Baden Street, we have early pre-K.
And we have a top-notch child development center that serves children 6 weeks to 12 years old.
También tenemos comida y ropas para apoyarte en una emergencia.
At Baden Street Settlement, we also have food and clothing for an emergency.
Nuestro programa de salud dirigido a la conducta humana ofrece servicios para personas adultas con alguna discapacidad en el desarrollo o enfermedades mentales, incluyendo el apoyo para establecer metas y servicios.
Our Digital Arts Center has the technology to improve your learning and make your life easier.
Did you know that we have programs especially for teens?
Si tienes 18 años o más, tenemos un programa excelente contra el abuso de sustancias controladas.
If you are 18 and over, we have an excellent clinical dependency program.
Yeah, I'm a Baden Street. I love Baden.
Hi, I'm Mike Marsh. This is the Baden Street Settlement Monthly Town Talk. This is your chance to connect with what's going on in Baden Street. Come on in, let's talk.
Hi, everybody. Let's talk. For those of you that would like a Spanish translation, we have that option available for you.
Hi, this is Mary Jo Muscolino, and I am here to talk about NAMI, New York State, NAMI Rochester. And
Mary, not yet.
Are we set with translation? I'm sorry, everybody. We're just trying to get the translation straight. We got it. We had it. Thanks, everybody. Sorry for that little delay. So tonight we're going to talk about behavioral health and community services. And we're very lucky to have some people from NAMI that are going to talk to us tonight. Mary Jo Muscolino and Wendy Burch. And they're going to talk about community resources for mental health. We'll then meet our care managers at Baden Street. They make our behavioral health and community services team. And then Mary Gomez DeSantis will talk to us about behavioral health and community services at Baden Street. She's our director. We're then going to have a performance by the jazz group As One, and they're featuring Chelse Chambers, who's a teacher in our daycare. I think you're really going to enjoy that performance. And then we'll wrap up by once again talking about our emergency and family assistance holiday appeal. So as I said before, Mary Jo Muscolino and Wendy Burch are with us tonight. Mary Jo is a registered nurse. She's a CASAC, and she's also the first vice president of NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And Wendy Burch is the executive director of NAMI, and she's a certified teacher for NAMI's Family to Family program. We are very lucky to have them both with us here with us tonight to talk about community mental health resources. I know that's an issue that concerns us all right now because there's never been probably a more acute need for mental health resources in our community. And so we're anxious to hear from them. Mary Jo and Wendy.
thank you, Mike. I'm so excited to be here and to be able to talk about NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. As you stated, I'm a registered nurse with a focus in mental health. I'm a certified alcohol and substance abuse counselor, a certified case manager, but more importantly, I'm a family member. I'm a family member and a friend to people who have been touched with mental illness, including myself. So I learned so much from my affiliation with NAMI. I started out being part of the organization professionally because I thought it would really benefit my clients. What I learned is not only would it benefit my clients, but also benefit myself and my family. It's very important and very difficult to really take a look and say, what is it that's affecting me at home? What's affecting my ability to function in the community, to have relationships, to be successful at work, to be able to cope with the stressors around me? NAMI offers that opportunity for people to get support and education. It's a free program, and it's available not only to family members, but also to people who are experiencing their own mental health issues. So I could go on and talk about my family and my issues and give you lots of information, but more importantly, I think it's important to hear from Wendy Burch, who's our executive director of the New York State NAMI, and hear a little bit about the programs that are available.
Thanks, Mary Jo. And really, I'm just going to give a little overview of NAMI. And certainly, if it's something that you want more information about, we'll have our contact information at the end and our website, so you can look more into the kind of programs we offer. So NAMI itself is an organization that really provides advocacy, support, and education for people who are living with mental health conditions and their families. We do have a national NAMI, and then here in New York State, we have 22 local affiliates scattered all around the state, and we do have a NAMI Rochester, which is very active and offers a lot of NAMI programs and supports. So as I said, you know, part of what we do, a big part of what we do is our support groups. We have support groups both for families, family members, and also for people who are living with mental health conditions. And in addition to that, we have educational programs for both families and peers who are looking for help in navigating their recovery or helping a loved one navigate their recovery. I also do a lot of advocacy and outreach work. You know, a lot of times the laws don't really serve the needs of people with behavioral health issues. And so we try and recognize where the gaps are and then work with legislators at the local, state, and federal levels to try and get those laws changed so that people are getting the supports and services that they need. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the programs we have. All of NAMI programs are led by people with lived experience, which means that if you attend a family-to-family class as a family member of a loved one with a mental health condition, the people running that class, not only have they been trained in the program, but they are family members living with people or serving loved ones with mental health conditions. And the same goes for our peer programs. If you're a person that's living in recovery from a mental health condition and you go to one of our peer classes or support groups, the people there are people that are navigating their own recovery. And so there's a lot of shared experience that help with the journey, and whether it's the class or the support group, the sharing of stories is a big part of our programs. So I mentioned the support groups and how they're run. It depends on the affiliate as to how often support groups are run. Some of our affiliates are larger and they have several going on at once. Others have, you know, groups that maybe meet once or twice a month. It used to be that all of our support groups were always in person. Now, since the pandemic, the majority of our support groups are going on virtually. So if there is not a support group in your area, you can take one in another part of the state, or even the country for that matter. And you can locate them on our website, or talk to our helpline coordinator, or email us, and we can connect you with a support group. We also have several classes. Probably our flagship class is our NAMI Family to Family class. It was, the first class that was developed by NAMI. And really what it is it's an 8-session class. And it's, again, run by people who are family members of people who are living with mental health conditions. You learn a little bit more about mental health and mental illnesses, but the meat of it really is helping you better communicate with your loved one and how to advocate for your loved one. And they are going on quite often. Again, we offer them virtually too. So if there isn't one in your area, you can definitely take one in New York, almost definitely. And if not, again, it's run throughout the nation. So it is available. And as I said, all of our classes are taught by 2 people and who have been trained in the class and have very similar experiences that they can share. And I can tell you, having taken Family to Family and now as a teacher of Family to Family, there's a lot of bonding that goes on in the class. And, I still keep in touch with the people that were in my Family to Family class. I am a family member of someone with a mental health condition. And we serve as another network of support. And that was, I think, probably 6 years ago, maybe 7, that I took the class for the first time. Similar to our NAMI Family to Family classes, Homefront, and that is actually for family members and caregivers of veterans and service members of the military. And it's just a little bit more focused on the types of experiences that military service members and their families experience. Our NAMI peer-to-peer class is a class for people who are living with a mental health condition that are pursuing their recovery. And it kind of helps to give a roadmap to help them along with their recovery, and also to be able to advocate for themselves and interact positively with the people in their lives. We also have a NAMI Basics class, and that is for parents and caregivers of children who are having emotional or mental health issues. And a big part of that class is helping the parents to work with the schools to connect their children with services, both in the community, but also within the school system. And we do have, if you're a parent of someone that has a young child, obviously you don't have a lot of time on your hands. So NAMI has even created a NAMI on demand that you can take at your own pace through the website. The NAMI In Our Own Voice program features 2 people with lived experience telling their stories of their own recovery. It's a great presentation for whether it's just for the general public, because it really does address the stigma around mental illness and trying to eliminate that, so that people realize that it's not something to be ashamed of. And if you do need to seek help, it's the same as if you sprain your ankle or break your arm, being able to go and seek services and access them are, it's the same. And you shouldn't, feel like you shouldn't be doing it. And it's really, it's an inspirational presentation. And if you're ever looking for one, we do them virtually as well and in person. There's quite a few really, I guess inspirational is the best word, of our In Our Own Voice presenters. Similarly, we do an Ending the Silence presentation, which is geared towards schools, parents, and students. And it always includes a young adult kind of telling their story, makes it much more relatable to young people and helping parents and educators understand what young people are going through when they're dealing with their mental health issues. We also have a NAMI provider education, and that's really just a way to help providers understand the family perspective. I know sometimes families can be kind of frustrated when they're trying to get their loved one help, and sometimes that provider and family member relationship, especially, it isn't always a very positive one. And so this is a way for families and providers to kind of meet in the middle, so that they can help their loved one and really make it a recovery team. I mentioned that a lot of what NAMI does is raise awareness. You know, we really want to address the stigma of mental health issues. And so one of the ways that we do that is through our NAMI Ribbon campaign. May is designated as Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we use that time to partner with the community, ask, you know, businesses and schools and municipalities and other organizations to just hang a ribbon and just show your support for, you know, mental health and mental wellness, but also show where people can find help and support through contacting NAMI, and help us to help connect the community with mental health services. We also do an annual education conference every year. We actually just had ours this past weekend virtually. We're hoping to come back in person soon. But this usually features sessions on, you know, anything from the latest research and treatment to advances in, you know, keeping people with mental health conditions from having to get in negative contact with the criminal justice system, or helping people to find employment or reintegrate into the community. We do special tracks that focus on criminal justice, on veterans and children and adolescent issues, as well as young adults, co-occurring disorders. So people who might have a mental health condition and a substance use disorder, and being able to connect people with those types of services. We do offer scholarships for various groups. Certainly NAMI members are eligible for scholarships to attend the conference as well. I mentioned, you know, improving the mental illness and criminal justice interface. A lot of times people who are in psychosis or, you know, are having a mental health break, oftentimes, you know, the police are called, and unfortunately the person, instead of getting help for their mental illness, end up in jail or worse. And so that's something that we're really, we very strongly advocate around. And we're really excited because just recently, the federal government passed the 988 crisis line law, which basically means that starting in July of 2022, there will be a crisis line to call, similar to 911, but this would be just for mental health crises. And so you can call 988 starting next July. And the work that we've been doing with many partners around the state, including the State Office of Mental Health, is to make sure that when you do call that line, that you are getting a mental health response, so that it's not the police that are coming, it is mental health professionals that can help connect you with mental health services. So there's more to come on that, and we'll be talking a lot more about it, but there's been a lot of work done on this. And I think that this will really help because we've seen so many instances where, again, people have ended up not surviving a call to 911 because the police aren't always prepared to respond to those types of calls. NAMI New York State also does have a helpline, which we also use to connect with all the different local affiliates in the area to help connect people with resources. Some of the things our helpline does, again, we can connect people with NAMI supports and services, but also other community resources that people might be looking for. In many cases, people are looking to be help with housing, mental health housing, or oftentimes they're looking for peer supports like the PROS system, that PROS program, that sort of thing. A lot of them are looking for legal advice, those types of issues. And so what we do is we do our best to connect people with those services and supports that are in the community. The other thing that the helpline does is if you're looking for mental health literature, if you want to have it, put it out at a health fair or something, we have a lot of those also that we send out free of charge. So it's definitely something that we try and get the word out about our helpline so that people do know that where they can call when they're looking for local resources. And I just mentioned this too, in case there are providers in the audience that, I touched on it earlier, but, family members want to be as involved as possible in helping their loved ones with their recovery. And so, if there are ways for providers to work with the families and the person living with the mental health condition, it really does make for a strong recovery team. And it can often be the best way to really help a person realize the supports that they have in order to pursue their own recovery. So resources, I put here our website and as well as our helpline phone number and email if you're looking for support. Certainly in Rochester, we have a very strong affiliate there, and I have the phone number and the information to access NAMI Rochester. And I'll also mention too, if you aren't already aware, that the New York State Office of Mental Health implemented an emotional support helpline, and you might have seen the commercials for New York State Project Hope, that is trying to help people through this rather difficult time we've been going through the last year and a half, almost 2 years now. So if you are looking just for someone to talk to, that emotional support helpline can be really helpful. And there are a lot of other resources on the Project Hope website. So that's a very short presentation on what NAMI does. I don't know if we're taking questions today, but if not, please feel free to reach out to us if you're looking for community resources, and we're always happy to partner with local organizations in offering support and resources.
Thank you, Wendy. You've done a great job talking about the resources that NAMI offers. And I just want to reach out to the community and to specifically folks at Baden to let you know that although there seems to be a disconnect at times between the programs that are offered and people's ability to access based on their cultural norms, their cultural understanding and language, that NAMI will do everything they can to be able to accommodate and be sure that everyone is able to get the services that are available to them. And most importantly, these are free services. So I know people struggle with insurance coverage. NAMI is a great resource to be able to help link you to those to insurance, in addition to offer support along the way. So thank you for your time. I'm excited. I'm hoping that folks at Baden will be able to access and utilize and benefit from the NAMI program.
Thank you. Thank you both for that great presentation. And we just have a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind. At Baden, as you know, we have a behavioral health and community services program. And I'm interested in how NAMI interacts with CBOs like Baden Street in providing help to the community.
So I'm going to be brutally honest and say that I don't know that we always do the best job. I think that NAMI initially was developed by moms who were in the Rochester. Actually, we were one of the foundation programs by moms who came together and said, we're really concerned about our kids. We have strived and continue to work very hard to become diversified, to be able to be inclusive. And I think that one of the things that I'm most excited about with being able to present to the community at Baden is to partner with NAMI to be able to offer some programming, get some folks trained who are bilingual, people who are more familiar with the culture of the population there, so that everyone can benefit from that experience.
Thank
yeah,
you.
and I'll just add to, you know, and it depends again on the area, and almost all of our teachers and facilitators are volunteers, but I can tell you that especially with things being virtual, we do have several programs for just to make, for things to be more relatable. So for example, one of our affiliates does a Black Minds Matter support group. And so it does focus a bit on the African-American community. So, and I do know too that that same affiliate, you know, offers programs both in Spanish and also in Chinese. So we're working on that, but I think sometimes too, being able to recruit people to lead the programs as we go along is something that we're always looking to do.
I think that's the benefit of where we've gone with virtual programming, that we're able to tap into other communities that maybe have embedded already programs that are specific to certain populations. And although Rochester may not have them local, that's the great piece about telehealth and programming. And so I'm hoping people will call New York State if they can't find what they're looking for, and then get connected through Wendy's team and to other affiliates.
Thank you. Thank you both for that. I guess one general question I have is, you guys alluded to it earlier, is that a lot of people find themselves in crisis, especially over the last couple of years with what we've been enduring. And I wonder, what would be your advice for people who find themselves in crisis or are close family members in crisis?
I think that, oh boy, we have had so much information about that and have seen so much around that. We've certainly seen the community response to trying to get police officers trained and crisis response teams to do that. But I think that the greatest issue and probably need is, when the crisis is over, then what? What do we do? How do we bring families together? And how do we work to prevent the next crisis coming down the road? And I think that's where NAMI is invaluable, that families often don't know what to do. Who do I call? What do I do? What's the next step to be able to help my family member avoid or at least minimize whatever's happened to them at this point? And I think NAMI is certainly the program to go to for families to say, gosh, I just don't know what the next steps are. And, you know, police departments, they help in the crisis, and the ACT team helps in the crisis, but the aftermath of being able to pull the family together, that's a great role and a great opportunity, I think, for families to contact NAMI.
Yeah, I would also just briefly add to, when I was mentioning the 988 number, the other initiatives that the state is working on, and I think using federal dollars for, is crisis stabilization centers. And basically what these are really just drop-in centers that usually have mental health professionals and even nurses, that kind of thing. And so if you're having a substance use crisis or a mental health crisis, you can go to a stabilization center. You can be there up to 24 hours. They treat you, but they also connect you with services afterwards so that you can do that. And they're really working on having those put in. And I would say too, if you are, if you have a loved one that's in a mental health crisis and you feel like you have no alternative but to call, 911 or the police, there are first responders trained in crisis intervention team training, and letting the dispatcher know that it's a mental health crisis and requesting someone with CIT training would probably have a better outcome than just sending any law enforcement officer or first responder.
Just to clarify, CIT is the Community Intervention Team, and they are a partnership between the community providers and the police department to be able to respond to mental health crises. And as we see that it's certainly in Rochester, that's happening more and more as time goes on. And so, yeah, I think it's important when those calls go in, if people are able to say, hey, this is a mental health issue, and not only do we need police to help to quell whatever violence or whatever out of control behavior, but somebody to step in on the mental health side and say, okay, here's the plan on the go forward. This is what we need to do. This is where the services lie. And this is the support for the family. And that's the piece that I think historically has always been missing, is what now?
Well, thank you both so much for taking the time to speak with us tonight. We really appreciate it, and giving us this understanding of what NAMI does. I think we all understand that we're just basically starting to kind of tap into helping to solve some of the mental health issues in our community. And I think organizations like NAMI help us a great deal in achieving some of that understanding.
Mike, thank you for having us. We were so glad to be here.
Oh, thank you. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about what Baden Street does for community mental health. And I think that, you know, one of the things about our behavioral health and community services resources is that people don't necessarily understand what we do. So I thought a great way in kind of helping people understand what we do is to actually have kind of a panel discussion with all of our care managers. And so that's what you're going to be seeing in this video that's coming up next. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, so we're here to talk to the care managers in our behavioral health and community services group. I think that, you know, one of the things that we want to do in this town talk is to promote this group. And I think in order to promote them, it really would be a good idea for people to know what they do. So I want you to get to know the people who are actually care managers in this group. So why don't you guys start by introducing yourselves? Let's start with Neal.
My name's Neal Henderson. Well, originally I came as a peer advocate, and now my role is transitioning over to care management.
Well, my name is Patty Vasquez, and I've been a care manager at Baden Street Behavioral Health Center for almost 2 years now. And next.
My name is Jake Bishop. I'm a care manager and peer engagement specialist, and I've been here just over a little bit of a year.
I'm Carla Ryan. I'm an intern. I was doing care management. I'm in the MSW program to get my master's in social work.
And I'm Yesenia Heurtas, and I'm the program coordinator.
My name is Naima, Hassan. I'm the program supervisor.
Fantastic. Well, welcome. And I thank you guys for coming here. I know the first question that people have is, what does a care manager do? Who wants to take that question?
I'll take that one. Well, if my supervisor wants to take it.
So care management is, a lot of people confuse it with case management, which is what we do is our core services is coordinating care for the clients, meaning we link them to providers, community resources. The program came about to decrease ED visits for those clients that don't necessarily go regularly to their providers. So our job is to link them if they don't have one, and then to continue that continuity of care piece where we are following up with whether it's their MCOs, their doctors, their therapists, just making sure that they're getting what they need.
Okay. And so instead of being providers here, Jake, would you want to make an addition to that?
Yeah, I mean, coordinating services for our clients and also making them feel comfortable and confident when they meet with providers.
Are there limitations to those services? Is it just medical services, or are there community services? What are the types of services that you connect people to, or give them continuity to?
Well, sometimes it's finding new resources that we were unaware of before, speaking with medical providers and trying to find a new solution with the client.
So what populations do we serve at Baden Street? Geographically?
Monroe County.
Monroe County?
Yeah.
And with a particular emphasis on any particular zip codes?
14621, 14609, 14605.
Okay. And how do you guys get people that need our services?
Through referrals. So whether it's from their doctors or CD clinic, we get a lot of our referrals that way. Word of mouth, we talked about that a little bit. You know, we have clients that are in care management that really are getting a lot of benefits from it. So they tell their friends, or if they feel like somebody needs it, and then we help them with the referral.
Okay. So what, you know, you guys are professionals and you've done this. It sounds like you've done this for a while. And so what draws you to Baden Street? Neal, why don't you take that one?
Baden Street was the first organization that I found knew about when I was coming up. I got affiliated with that. I went to Baden Street Day Camp here. So it was an opportunity for me to really give back to Baden Street because it's given me so much, because I've seen it works through the community as different services that they provide. So me being able to come work with Baden Street and be affiliated with the community, which I'm familiar with, it's a good opportunity, and it's giving back to the community for me. You know.
Excellent. And Patty, you've worked at other places, right? So what draws you to Baden Street?
Working with human services has always been my thing. Working with people, I love to help people. I was a young person myself with no guidance. There was no programs really like there are like Baden Street where I came up to help guide you through the healthcare system or even with your children. So.
Okay. I think this is a good question. So I'm going to ask each of you why Baden Street. Jake?
I like Baden Street because of my history of substance use and being close to the city, right where I had been using quite often when I was a teen. It gave me an opportunity to be able to share in the community and help people who had been through the same thing as me.
I was placed at Baden Street for my internship, and I'm under Mary's guidance, and just getting able to get to know my coworkers and going around with Neal, meeting people in the community. He has relationships with people, and just really diving into the work and the services we have. I got to know a lot of new stuff. It was pretty awesome.
That's fantastic. Let's give you a great perspective as a student.
Yep, definitely.
Okay. Yesenia?
I just like to help people. And when I heard about Baden and the great job they do with the people and the community, I said, I need to be there. And plus, I got a second language that I think is something they help a lot of people too. So yo hablo también español y estamos disponibles para ustedes.
Excellent, excellent. So you do have bilingual services.
Yes.
Excellent. Naima, you're relatively new to Baden Street, so tell us what drew you to Baden Street.
Well, I've heard about Baden Street. I knew the services that they have and the great work that they do with the community, but I like the fact that we are right in the heart of the population in the city, where the population that we serve. That's something that I didn't experience before, where I've worked at other agencies and, you know, we're not necessarily in the community. So it gives me a different perspective and different understanding of the services that we give.
And she speaks 3 languages.
That's excellent. What are the 3 languages?
Well, the English, Arabic, and Somalian.
Excellent. So, you know, one of the things I always like to ask people in these is like, what do you want people to take away about care management services at Baden Street? What do you want people to know? And I'll go to each one of you. Not to put you on the spot, but I think each one of you, since you all have a different background, there may be a few different things that you want people to take away.
For me, I would say that, I would want them to know that there is assistance, that there are services that can help them, that they don't have to feel that they're stuck or they don't have anywhere to go. Just because we focus on care coordination, I feel, and I think I speak for everybody, we're not just care managers. Sometimes I feel we're therapists, we listen. People need that. And just because we're care managers doesn't mean that we can't sit down and listen. We don't always have to link you to services. We can just be people and, relate. So I hope, and that's my hope for clients, what they take away from it, is that we are more than care managers. And we do get close to our clients a lot. And it is sad when we have to graduate and let them go, but it's also a great feeling that, they've accomplished their goals and they're ready to move on.
Excellent.
So I think that Baden has the great opportunity for the Spanish speaker person too. So for me, it's very important that that community know that Baden is here for everybody.
I think it just shows how important one person can be, and just as a care manager, an impact you can have on someone's life, whether it be just connecting them to a doctor or listening, like Naima was saying, and letting them know you're there. It's very powerful.
I'd like to say, what I would like people to take from this is that we're an agency that's available to the community. We're focused more on health, but at the same time, you've got folks coming out of incarceration. You've got people that are suffering from addiction. We are there. We still can give that help as far as being of support to them as they re-entered into the community. So we can be there just to be a support and be of service. Because right now we're going through this pandemic thing, and people just want a human touch to be able to listen, have somebody to listen to them. So if coming to Baden Street, we're a small agency, but we're willing to help, and we're here to be of service for other folks coming back into the community.
Yeah, and during the pandemic, for some of them, we were the only contact that they had. Everybody was stuck in the house, and we were the contact. They loved hearing from us, and sometimes they would just chatter because they had nobody else to talk to all that time, and they were worried and they were scared and they had questions. And we helped them the best we can with information that we had. We also sent out flyers and stuff during that time with information, with the vaccines and everything. Helped them get vaccinated, helped them get transportation to those vaccinations and to the providers. But I agree with Yesenia as far as the language barrier, especially we have a large Hispanic community. For them, it's hard to get to know the resources that are out there and to connect to even especially mental health and stuff. For them, it's a stigma. They don't usually reach out to those kind of services because of the culture. So.
Jay, why don't you bring it home?
I think the most important piece for me is that we give our clients dignity while coordinating services and making them feel comfortable and that they're being listened to and appreciated. I think that for Baden Street and care management is the most important role that we have.
Well, thanks.
So Mary, that was a great discussion with your team. You're lucky to have such a dynamic and knowledgeable team.
Yes, thank you.
So I want to ask you a few questions. What you're director of our behavioral health and community services group. So what's your background?
My background is in mental health and substance abuse. I've been in the field about 25 years. The first half of my career was in substance abuse treatment, and the second half has been focused
I'm sorry, everyone. We just have a little bit of a technical issue. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with a picture.
Yes, start.
Just hang in there for a little while more. Thanks. Okay, we're back. Thanks to our technical wizards there for getting us back online. So, Mary, you talked about your background's in mental health. Talk to me about the role that Baden Street plays in the community. Wendy and Mary Jo talked a lot about the mental health crisis and NAMI resources. How does Baden Street interact with that?
Our care managers are a dedicated team that during COVID, we continued to serve. We did not shut down, and oftentimes we were the only contacts that many of our clients had during that time. Our staff is here to serve. We are here to serve, and we serve individuals both in English and in Spanish.
Okay. One of the things that, you talked a lot about the work that people do. Can you talk about some success stories that we've had? Of course, subtracting the identities of people, but can you talk about some of the great things that we've done for the community?
Sure. Many of our clients are oftentimes homeless and come to us with very little resources. We are able to find them housing successfully, connect them with providers and resources. Some of our clients have been able to achieve going back to school, going to college, obtaining employment. And it is really wonderful to be able to see folks learn to be self-sufficient or achieve those self-sufficiency goals.
That's fantastic. Do you feel like Baden Street can grow this program in any way? What do you think would be the best place for, or best method for it to grow?
I think that Baden Street has for many years served our youth and families in our community. Currently, right now, we serve only adults in our care management, and I would love to be able to expand that in serving children, youth, and families also in our community.
Okay. And as I asked your team, what's the thing that you want people to take away about Baden Street Behavioral Health and Community Services?
I would say that we are committed to serving. I would say that we have been a pillar in our community for many, many years as we celebrate 120 years. And that we are committed to helping individuals with all sorts of needs, from medical to behavioral health. And if we are unable to serve them, we will definitely make sure that we point them in the right direction with the appropriate resource.
Mary, thank you so much. And thanks to your team. Thanks to you for all you do, and to your team.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so now, as I promised, we're going to hear from As One, that features Chelse Chambers, one of the teachers in our daycare. And I think you'll really enjoy this.
will be sold soon, so look us up at www. Thank you so much for listening. Now, if you liked what you heard, we will be here at Gallery 1 on November 20th at 7 o'clock, correct? At 7 o'clock here, we will have a show. Tickets are going to be started, will be sold soon, so look us up at www.asoneband.com. Again, or on Facebook, we're named As One. So AS space 1. Instagram as one band. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Chelse. What a great voice, and the band was fantastic as well. Really appreciate that. And as she said, I think look it up As One on Facebook, and also As One Band, asoneband.com for their next date. So as everybody knows, it's that time of year where Dolores Rodriguez, as she's talked about many times, is in the middle of her Thanksgiving and her holiday drive. So I'd like to just replay that video so everybody has a sense of, first for those in need, but then of course for those who want to contribute. So. So thanks to Ms. Dolores for doing all she does for our holiday campaign. As I said, we're coming around to that time of year, so check the website on ways that you can contribute, or of course, if you need help. So thanks for joining us tonight. I always like to kind of go through our programs at Baden Street. Tonight we heard about behavioral health and community services. Last month we heard about counseling and support, our chemical dependency center. Our Digital Arts Center, of course, our Mature Adult Resource Center. I think they just took a trip to the Eastman House. Our CYAD, Community Youth and Adult Development. Our Child Development Center, both daycare and pre-K. Our Metro Council for Teen Potential, who had a tremendous annual meeting yesterday and featured some great teen talent. Our Emergency Family Assistance Group. And you can always look us up at our website at www.badenstreet.org. So next month, we will talk about what Baden Street Settlement is today and yesterday, because actually our next town talk is going to be feature an event that we're going to do with Temple Birth Kodesh, where we'll talk about Baden Street's past, present, and its future. As always, my advice to everybody is get the vaccine, protect your friends and family, and those not old enough to get the vaccine. And then thanks again to Wendy and Mary Jo for their town talk tonight about behavioral health and community services and what NAMI does. And thanks to Leanne, Chris, Lee, Cameron, Christina, and of course, Mary and her team. So thanks a lot, everyone. Next time we see you will be our live broadcast of the December 4th event.